All right, what's happening, Cowboy Nation? This is Gen X Cowboy coming to you from Family First Sports. Cowboys lose 31-13 to the Baltimore Ravens, and Schottenheimer's coaching as a whole, I'm going to get into that. But I want to give a couple of shout-outs, to a couple of players who did pretty good in this game, who showed a little promise. And I wrote some things down here about some players who looked pretty decent, man. This was a tough. These first two preseason games, as far as Schottenheimer's regime, doesn't really look as promising. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's almost as if, you know, we're playing ugly. I know it's the preseason. I don't take, people say don't put much in the preseason, but I do. I put a lot in the preseason. I take a lot from the preseason because it gives you the measure of your team, not the first string. I'm talking about as a whole, right? As a whole, the your first string could be solid, but if your team isn't built from the second and third stringers, then you have a hollow team. So if anything happens to that first team, we're in trouble, right? So your second and third team, that's the crux of a good team when you have something in there. And our second and third don't look as well. I'm gonna give you guys some numbers here. Cooper Rush. Let's talk about Cooper Rush. You guys are ready to get rid of Cooper Rush, huh? For Joe Milton. You guys were talking about how it's time for Rush to go. You was glad Rush is out of here, and he didn't tear it up, but he looked better than Joe Milton. I tell you that much. Cooper Rush was 20 for 30, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 68, which isn't great. Isn't great at all. I'm gonna give you Joe Milton's numbers. Joe Milton numbers were 9 for 18. 122 yards, 1 interception. He threw for 6.8 yards a throw. 6.8 yards a throw. And he had a passer rating of 48. 48. Running. The run game. We ran for 51 yards at, I think, a 2.4 yards per clip. That's terrible. That is terrible, man. Shotty, I don't know what to say, brother. I don't know what to say, man. This doesn't look good. These first two preseason games and the scrimmage, it doesn't look good under your regime. It's early. I'm gonna give Shotty some time. I'm gonna give him some time. I'm not gonna knock him down, right? But it doesn't look promising, man. It really doesn't. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The truth is, will set you free. The truth will set you free, man. And it doesn't look promising. It really doesn't look promising. You guys come on in. If you're there, I know everybody is doing their own thing here. And it doesn't. It really doesn't look promising, man. It doesn't, man. I tell you. We struggle a lot, man. But let me give you some good numbers first. Let's start there. I wrote some stuff down. Some of the guys who looked pretty decent. James Houston, pickup free agent at the last minute. He looked great. He had 3 pressures. He almost had a fumble sack. He looked amazing tonight. James Houston. And I always liked James Houston. Wherever he's been at, he's always been a good guy who rushes the passer. So I always have liked James Houston. Let's talk about, we've got our first glimpse of Tyler Booker tonight. And he had an up and down night. You saw his first, I wrote down his first, second play. He missed a block, but I did see some good stuff from Tyler Booker where he turned his guy. It's a couple of good plays that I saw from Tyler Booker. I saw what we love in him, so that's pretty good. Andrew Booth, cornerback, had a pick 6. That was great. That was fantastic. I think Andrew Booth needed that. Um, as far as a whole, did he look great? He looked okay, but that pick six, covers up you know, a lot of wounds. You know what I mean? So, but that pick six was great. He needed that. He really needed that. He didn't look bad at all, too much, but he didn't look outstanding either. I'm not expecting that. I love how Damone Clark played tonight. Now we've been hearing him in practice how Damone Clark has been looking, and people couldn't wait to see. In the last preseason game, he kind of didn't show up like he was supposed to. He didn't uh, flash like they thought he would in the last preseason game. But this preseason game, he looked decent. He did. I saw him reading the running game. He was reading uh, the defensive tackle. Mozzie was playing pretty okay, I guess you would say. Defensive tackle as a whole, it was up and down to me. It wasn't really great, but Damone Clark was reading that running back. He was reading the defense and making plays. Man, he really was. He was making plays when he was in there. So Damone Clark, I'll give you a shout out. Shamar James in the first half looked pretty good. He really did, especially when he first came in the game. When they first did the changing of the linebackers, he really started showing up a little bit. I actually like Jack Sanborn, what he did tonight. Jack Sanborn was a good. He was making plays off the jump. I love our linebacker core. Maris Luafau, Jack Sanborn, tonight Damone Clark. Um, I like how they played. I really do. I like how Luafau didn't do as much tonight. He did a lot last preseason game, but Damone Clark and Jack Sanborn, I really like how those linebackers looked tonight. And Shamar James, I really did. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer, he kind of, I don't know, man. Part of what he did was it was 3rd-and-1 with 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter. And, he's talking, he's preaching, being physical. And I remember Jesse Holly saw them in practice, and it was a 4th-and-1 in practice. And he threw the ball on that 4th-and-1 instead of running the ball. And Jesse Holly said something about it in practice. And I said on my podcast, on my show, that if you don't think he's gonna do that in the game, think again. He will do that in the game. If he's doing it in practice, he'll do it in the game. And with 7 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second quarter, 3rd-and-1, he actually did it. He threw the ball. It was an incomplete pass. Joe Milton threw the ball, incomplete pass. So they went for it on 4th-and-1 and didn't get it. But my issue is, if it's 3rd-and-1, if you're a physical team, if you're preaching physicality, you have to run the ball on 3rd-and-1. You got 4th-and-1. Why not quarterback sneak it? Joe Milton is what, 6'5"? Why not quarterback sneak it? What's the deal with that? You got a big quarterback here. Sneak the ball for 3rd-and-1. Then 4th-and-1, go with Phil Marfa in there. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't do that. He threw the ball on 3rd-and-1. I didn't like the call. I'm going to tell you, man, to be honest with you, I understand we're trying to get Joe Milton some work. He played all the way through the 3rd quarter, I think, and then we came in with Will Greer in the 4th quarter. I get it. We already know who Will Greer is. And I get that we're trying to, see who Joe Milton is. But how can we assess players if Joe Milton is so bad in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd quarters? He got better in the 3rd quarter. I will say that. He started calming down like he did last game in the 3rd quarter, and he started making some plays with his legs. He started being a little bit more accurate. But how can we assess players if for the first and the second quarter, this guy's so bad that we can't even look at how the wide receivers, how the tight ends, how the offensive line playing, how the running backs are playing. We can't do anything because we're not moving the sticks. We're going three and out. Nothing has any longevity, right? So how can you assess the players with that? Now tonight, Will Grier came in. He didn't do as when he first got in. He hit one down the seam. It was a beautiful pass, right? But he really didn't do as much as I would think he would have done if he'd have played. I think he should have. He needs to get more reps himself. But we're basing everything on Joe Milton, right? It's almost as if he had a memorandum. We got to get Joe Milton playing and get him and make him the second string quarterback. And we need to do any and everything to do that. And this is at the risk of everybody else, right? It's at the risk of everybody else. I agree. Joe Milton needs some work. But you know who else needs some work? Dak Prescott needs some work. I don't know why. You realize Dak hadn't played a preseason game since 2019. 2019. That's the last time Dak Prescott has played a preseason game. Get Dak some help. Get Dak some work. Get CeeDee Lamb some work. We're going cold against Philly. I watched the league today. What's the guy in San Francisco? Brock. He played today. We all know Patrick Mahomes played today. The quarterback out of Houston, can't think of his name. CJ, he played today. All the top quarterbacks are playing. Why isn't Dak playing, bro? What's the deal with that? Is that because Mike McCarthy did the same thing? He didn't play Dak. I mean, just one quarter. We going in against Philly. He has no experience with live bullets in 2025. He was hurt last year. He got hurt. The only live bullets he sees in practice. So we going to Philly with Dak not even getting any kind of playing time. CeeDee Lamb not getting any kind of playing time. We're just doing it through practice. Whose philosophy is that? Is that Schottenheimer's or is it Jerry's? I kind of want to blame Jerry a little bit because Dak ain't played him since 2019 in a preseason game. Now, mind you, he had an MVP year under Mike McCarthy. He didn't win the MVP, of course, but he had an MVP kind of. He was in the running, 2 years ago? But other than that, I think he needs some work. They all need work. Because this doesn't look good, man. This doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth. Pause. It doesn't. It doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, man. How we look on offense. You realize the defense scored the 7 points. The Cowboys, the score was 31 to 3. We had 13 points. So the Cowboys scored 6 points on offense. 6 points. Joe Milton had one good drive. I'm going to say two good drives. The one with the field goal and the one he hit with the long pass. But that was it pretty much. He had 122 yards thrown and 40 of it was off of one play. So how can you assess players and this guy isn't really playing? He ain't doing that. He's not giving you time or the plays to assess the offense. I don't know, man. Shotty is underwhelming. It's early Shotty. I'm not gonna beat Shotty up, man. But these first two games, to me, in my opinion, he looks like a rookie head coach. To be honest with you, and what can we expect? He is a rookie head coach, right? Right. But he looks like a rookie head coach. You know, you're basing your whole offense on Joe Milton and how he looks, and you're going to play him. I get it. You want to see how he plays. You can put him in the whole second half and see how he plays. But you got to worry about your other team, other players on the team. You got to worry about if he's missing that bad. How are we going to assess the wide receivers? Mingo looked pretty decent today. He caught the bomb from Joe Milton, but Mingo was open several times, but Mingo just couldn't get him the ball. Milton couldn't get him the ball. Deuce Vaughn. In the second half, he got a little bit more carries, but first half, I think he got maybe one or two carries. I didn't see enough. I didn't see a lot of Phil Maffa tonight. I saw a little bit of him. He got stuff for a run, but I didn't see a whole lot tonight from Phil Maffa. I don't know, man. This Brian Schottenheimer coaching regime, if you will, it's very underwhelming. It's underwhelming. That's all. That's the only word I can say is underwhelming. I didn't see anything from his coaching style that I like. Um, I don't know, man. I hope that he gets better. We got one more preseason game, I think. I think it's only 3 this year. They done changed it. It's only 3 preseason games. And I don't know, man. It doesn't look well for Schottenheimer right now. And if this is a precursor of what the season gonna look like, I know this is preseason, guys. I know you know, they're just playing around, trying to see what works. But I don't know, man. He looks like a rookie head coach. And, he's going up against Philly. Philly's a monster. Philly's a monster. And if we don't get it together, I know we're going to have the starters in there. It's going to be totally different. I'm hoping Dak have a great year. But I would have loved to see Dak, George Pickens, and CeeDee Lamb for at least one quarter. What's the problem with that? What's wrong with that? Why can't we see that? I don't understand what's the deal with them not playing their players. They did play some starters tonight, but they didn't play the main guy. And what was funny is I saw that goofy shit where Dak came in the beginning when I was watching the broadcast, and in the beginning before the game started, Dak had his shoulder pads on, his helmet. He was throwing. So I'm sitting here like, Dak with the start? Is he gonna start? But no, he just was doing some goofy shit. They just was sitting there. He was warming up. He had everything on, the helmet. It's like he was fit to play. And then when the game started, they took the shoulder pads off. Oh, I'm sitting here like, what kind of goofy shit is that? Why would you sit here and warm up and do all of this stuff and you ain't playing? Man, I just think all of this stuff is just goofy. Jerry's goofy. I'm sorry. It is. It is, man. This whole thing with him and Parsons and him and how he running the football team and this Netflix bullshit special that nobody wants to look at. Nobody wants to see that. We already know about the Cowboys. Who wants to see that? We know about the old Cowboy. Who wants to see that? His family, his friends. He ain't got nothing on there about what's new, or how he been mucking up things for 30 years. He got the old cowboy stuff on there. And this is what I heard, because I ain't watching that bullshit. It looks like Jerry and his crap has permeated all over this team. It's like they have bled. Jerry has bled into this team, and we look like what we look like. We don't look good at all. And I know it's preseason. Preseason don't mean nothing to some of y'all. To me, it means a lot. I take a lot of the preseason. Like I said, second and third string, those are the heart of the team. Because that first string, right, that's the team. But the second and third, the other players, the backup players, they got to play well as well. That means you have a complete team. Not just the starter, not just the pretty stuff. You know, you ever meet a girl and she's pretty, she's beautiful, but she rotten inside, right? That's when you see they rot you when you're rotten inside. I mean, your second and your third team, they ain't playing up to par. They terrible on second and third teams. That first team, pretty, beautiful, fine. But when that second and third, they rotten. I'm comparing it, making an analogy to a beautiful woman who was beautiful, right? But she rotten inside. Inside, she ain't good. And that's our team right now. Our second and third team, I ain't saying we rotten, the second and third teams, but the third team, you know. I'm just talking, guys. I'm just frustrated, man. I really am. I'm frustrated because, you know, the culture change. Remember? Don't forget about that. Remember the culture change? We supposed to experience a culture change. The culture. Brian Schottenheimer been changing the culture. Remember they go out and play basketball together, and they have all these competitive sports. You remember he's in the press conference and he's laughing about so-and-so won the basketball 3-point channel. It's supposed to build camaraderie. Remember that? See, I tell you, if this don't work, if this goes left, it's gonna be a disaster. Cause you buddy with everybody. See, can you be a disciplinarian when you taking everybody out to lunch and dinner? And y'all Greek dancing. Remember that? Y'all seen the video with him, Joe Milton, and that Greek dancing? They bought somebody in from Greece and they was teaching them how to Greek dance. I wish I had a video. I said, then what the hell are we doing? What are we doing? But he was trying to build a culture. And for a minute, I was like, okay, it's something different. See, culture is a trigger word for us Cowboy fans. See, when we hear the word culture change, because see, what we want is something to change from what it was. We haven't been to the NFC Championship in 30 years. Super Bowl, 30 plus years. Right? So when we hear culture change, that means something is changing. Maybe we can get back to where we were before. But it hasn't. It's not. It's not changing. It's still the same. And this Jerry and Michael Parson thing, it's just too much. It's too much, guys. I mean, it's I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, guys. It doesn't look good for us. It doesn't look good, man. And oh, man, I kind of like want to hear what Brian Broaddus and the team has to say now. I want to hear what these guys, 105.3 the fan, and all these guys. I want to hear what they got to say, right? Because that's me froze up, guys. But you know, I got, I had my myself hyped up, and I had myself thinking that this Schottenheimer thing is going to change some things, but it looks worse than Mike McCarthy, right? It does. It looks worse with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, it at least looked more structured and organized, but with Schottenheimer, what I don't know what this is. It's only 2 games in the preseason, and we're gonna keep saying that. First it was only the scrimmage. It's only the scrimmage. Don't worry. Don't feed too much. That's what he said. Don't feed too much into the preseason and scrimmage. It's only the scrimmage. Now then it was. Well, that's only preseason game 1. That's only the first preseason game. It's gonna get better. Don't put much into this preseason game. Now it's preseason game 2, and we look the same. Now I'm gonna tell you, on defense, we look a little different on defense. 'Cause I like what Sanborn did. I like what Damone Clark did. Shamar James had a little, had some flashes, right? Keemon Hall had an interception. Andrew Booth had an interception. Keemon Hall, I'm gonna give him a shout out, man. He really kind of played a little bit better tonight. I was looking for Childress. Matter of fact, my top 5 guys was Mozzie. I was looking for Zion Childress. I didn't hear anything from Zion Childress, so he must have had a good game. Because I didn't hear his name called one time, right? He must was sticking good and covering good tonight. Let me see here. Who else I was looking at? Schottenheimer. I was seeing what he was going to do, how he's going to call the game, and I was a little disappointed in Schottenheimer. I really was. The quarterback showed up, so I had that as one of my top 5 things that I wanted to look at. Cornerbacks kind of showed up a little bit. Again, Keemon Hall had a good game. Andrew Booth had an interception, pick 6. They showed up a little bit. I will say that. So that's a good thing. So it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad at all. Mozzie and the defensive tackles, I didn't really see a lot. I know you guys who watch the film are gonna break it down, so I'll be waiting for that to see what you guys have to say. But I really didn't see. Now I did see Perion Winfrey. He had a great pass rush where he knocked the guy down and almost got a sack. He looked pretty decent. To be honest with you, I saw Mozzie kind of held the double team up a couple of times, so he didn't look bad per se. And the run and defensive tackles, I get now that they're not going to be stat patters. You're not going to see a whole bunch of tackles or none of that stuff, right? It's a position whereas they just got to stop the run and take on double teams and all that stuff. But some defensive tackles, they do contribute more. I didn't see anything from Mozzie, good or bad. Be honest with you, I didn't see bad. I didn't see anything great either from Mozzie, and again, we're gonna go back to he's a first round pick. Rather you guys want to say things about him. If he's not making any defensive plays in the backfield, anything, man, to show me that you're there. Something. Give me something, Mozzie. And I didn't see much tonight from him. Again, the cornerback showed up. Schottenheimer disappointed. And Childress, again, I didn't hear a lot from Childress, but hopefully he had a good game. Hopefully he had a great game. But anyway, guys, the Cowboys lose 31-13. I'm going to go to bed. It's almost 12 o'clock. And I'm going to go ahead and shut it on down, man. But Schottenheimer, I'm a little disappointed, man. I'm underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed. I'm underwhelmed with his coaching regime so far. I really am. And hopefully to get better moving forward. You got to get Joe Milton fixed, man. I want to see a little bit of more Will Greer so we can, get some analysis on some of these players. And, Joe Milton takes a little bit to get warmed up. I mean, he takes damn near 2 quarters to get warmed up. By third quarter, he's okay. First and second quarter, he looks like a practice squad player. That's concerning to me. That's concerning. Anyway, guys, this is Gen X Cowboy coming to you from Family First. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Plan to bring you guys some great content moving forward. Y'all take care.